It's a Blood. It's a poem of 12th standard NCRT. Okay, it's a poetry of 12th standard. So in this Blood, there is a Kamala Das. She had written 1934 to 2009. So she is one of the greatest literary figures in Malayalam. In Malayalam, she is from India, right? She is a Malayali, and she was born in the year 1934 in Punyakulam in South Malabar, Kerala. So she was born in this area in 1934, and she was born in Kerala. And her work in poetry and in prose has given her a permanent place in the modern Malayalam literature as well as Indian writing in English. So Kamala Das was from South India, and she had contributed in poetry and in prose, and it gives her a prominent place in literature and as well as Indian. And she is the best known for feminist writing and focus on womanhood. And she is famous for what? She is famous for feminist writing, and she is also best known. The people are calling her as a womanhood, and she has been recipient of such a famous award, and she had got the famous awards as the poetry award for the Asian pen anthology. So she had got many awards, poetry award, and the Kerala Sahitya Academy award she got for the best collection of short stories in Malayalam, and the Jamanlal award for fear less journalism. So this kind of award she got in Kerala. Okay, so we are going to learn the poem of Kamala Das, and Kamala Das is from Kerala, and she is writing a poem also, and poetry and prose also, and she got awards: Academy Award, Kerala Academy Award, Jamanlal Award, and Pen Anthology Award. Okay, now let's start. When we were children, my brother and I. Okay, so the Kamala Das, she is saying that when she when we were children, when they were children, okay, my brother and I. So here the Kamala Das is saying that her brother and she, and always playing on the sand, drawing birds and animals, our great grandmother said one day. So when they were children, they were always playing on the sand. On the sand means near the beach, on the sand. And their grandmother says one day, and their grandmother said to them one day, "You see this house of ours, now 300 years old. It's falling to little bits before our very eyes. The walls are cracked and torn and moistened by the rains." So when they were uh, playing with the sands, and one day what happened, their grandmother said to them, "Look at this house. It's 300 years old, and now this house, the situation of this is not good. It's very bad. It's going to be fallen. It is falling. The walls have also cracked and torn. The tiles have fallen here and there. The windows whine and groan." So the grandmother is saying to them, the situation of the house is very bad. The tiles were cracked, and the the wall was moistened by the rains, and the windows are here and there, whine and groan, and every night the rats come out of the holes and scamper past our door. And the grandmother said to them, not only that, the rats are also coming inside the home. The snake shrine is dark with weeds. The snake are also shrine. The snake are also there, and all the snake gods in the shrine have lichen on their hoods. Okay, what it means. And whichever snake gods are there, they are also in the woods, in the roads. Oh, it hurts me, she cried, wiping, wiping a reddened eye. For I love this house, it hurts me much. So then, uh, the girl, the poet is saying that it hurts me, I cried, and I love this house to watch it die. It hurts me when this house is going to be die. When I grow old, I said, and very, very rich, I shall rebuild the fallen walls. So, uh, so then the girl, the poet, said to the grandmother, when I grow big, I will going to, I will going to build, rebuild this house. I will going to be reconstruct this house, and then I shall rebuild and make anew this ancient house. And my grandmother and my great grandmother, and the writer is saying that my great grandmother touched my cheeks and smiled. So when she said to her like situation, because the great grandmother has said the situation of this is not good, that the poet said to the grandmother that when I grow big, I will rebuild this house. And she was very happy, and she has touched her cheeks and smiled. And she was really, really simple. So the great grandmother was very simple and fed on God for years, and she had actually have a trust on God for years, and all her feasts were monotonous, and for only dish was always God, and the rest merry contentments. So all her feast, all her hands was very monotonous, and for the only dish was always God. And she told us that how she rode her elephant when she was 10 or 11. So she said to us, the great grandmother said to the poet that when she was at the age of 11, how she had ridden an elephant every Monday without fail to the Shiva shrine and then back to home again. So every Monday they went to the Shiva and taking the bless from him and going back to home again, and told us and told us of the and told us of the jewel box and the bouquet from the north, and the perfumes from her, and the perfumes and the oils and the sandal for her, and the sandal for her breast, and her marriage for to a prince. So, and the grandmother said everything to them, that she have a jewel box, she had from brocade, perfume, sandal, marriage to a prince, and who loved her deeply for a lovely short year and died of fever in her arms. And she told the each and everything to the children, like my prince was actually died when for died for in her arms. And she told us, who told us, she told us that we had the oldest blood. Okay, she told us that we had the oldest blood, my brother and she, my brother and she and I, the oldest blood in the world. A blood thin and clear and fine, while in the veins is always poor, and in the veins of the new rich man flowed a blood thick as gruel and muddy as ditch. So then she told us that the great grandmother said to them that we had the oldest blood. Okay, my brother. Okay, she told my brother, like she said that uh, she and her brother. Okay, and her brother, the oldest blood in the world, a blood thin, clear, and fine, while the veins of the always poor, and in the veins of new rich man, flowed both thick as gruel and muddy as a ditch. So she is saying that they are the one of the oldest blood in the world, and they are talking about the how the blood is very strong blood they have. Finally, she lay dying, Finally, she was dying, and in her 86 year, and her age is given 86 year. A wed by woman wed by compromise her legs and quilted with arthritis and with only a hard curve. So at the age of 86 years, she is having a health issues. For comfort, I looked deep into her eyes and her poor blurry eyes and prayed that she would not grieve so much about the house. I had learned then most lesson of defeat. So then this lady, the poet, looked at her eyes and she felt very comfort. And I had learned by that most lesson of defeat, had found out that to grow rich was a difficult feat. The house was crouching. So here the the house was very crouching, and on its elbow then it looked at night in the pallid moon. So grotesque and alive. And when they burned my great grandmother over logs of the mango tree, I looked once at the house and then again and again, for I thought I saw windows, the close like the closing of the eyes. So here the poet is trying to explain about the moment, what is happening in that situation, talking about the house windows like the closing of the eyes. I thought I heard the pillars groan and the dark rooms have a sigh, and I set forth again 4 other towns and left the house with shrine and the sands and the flowering shrubs and the white rabbit mount in the Arabian Sea. I know the rats are running now in the house across the darkened halls. They do not fear that. I know white ants have reached my home, and then she reached out home and have rests on walls. Strange torrents of virile at night in stillness from every town. I live in, I hear the rattle creaking. So the poet is trying to explain about how the what is happening. The noise of the rafter creaking. I have known down. Oh, mothers, I have plucked your soul. I have plucked your soul like a pig from fruit, and I flung into your pyre. Call me callous, call me selfish, but do not blame my blood, so thin, so clear, so fine. The oldest blood in the world that remembered as it flows all the gems and the perfumes and the stately elephant ride. So the in this poem we had understood that this lady, okay, is trying to explain about the grandmother, and grandmother makes them feel like we are the very old person and you all are my uh, the blood. So here the relationships they are trying to explain here. Okay, so thank you for listening me.